to be giving to them at the end. So I'm going to be talking to you about Tasmanian devils and why they're such great survivors. So Tasmanian devils have to be good survivors right from when they're born, because they're born with about 30 other brothers and sisters, all about the size of a raisin and quite undeveloped. And only the 4 strongest and fastest make it into the pouch. These guys have pouches because they're marsupials. And so only the 4 strongest little joeys make it into the pouch, and they grow up to be big, strong Tasmanian devils. So we have 4 Tasmanian devils here at the zoo. We've got 3 females who live in this enclosure. Molly, Mercy, and Anne-Marie are the females who live in here, and we also have Miliuin, who's our male who lives just next door at the moment for breeding season. We're not breeding from these guys. So another reason that these guys are such great survivors is that they survive on anything that they can find. These guys are carnivores, but they'll find any scraps of meat that they find lying around. Their favourite will probably have to be wombat, but here we give them things like goat and chicken, which they love just as much. So when Tasmanian devils are feeding, they'll often come together to feed, which is often where you hear the loud noise that they make. The first people who came to Tasmania and heard them thought, wow, they sound like devils, and so that's why they're called Tasmanian devils. They do make a really loud sort of screaming noise, and they all come together to feed. Often we'll give them communal feeds here as well, just so they have that instinct that they have in the wild where they help each other to pull off the food. And another way that Tasmanian devils are good at surviving is they actually store fat in their tails. So having a big fat tail for a Tasmanian devil is a really healthy thing. It's like carrying around a little snack, and in times where there's not as much food, they can take those energy reserves from their tail and use them up, and that helps them overcome tough times. Tasmanian devils are also really powerful. They've got really strong jaws. They've got the strongest jaw size for their body size, and they can even chew through metal traps. So they've got really powerful teeth and jaws. Tasmanian devils can also swim across rivers and climb trees, which is why in here we've got bands around some of our taller trees so they don't sort of climb right up and out. But often you'll see them climbing along this one that's along here, this sideways tree. They climb up there so they can get a good view of what's going on. Tasmanian devils are also really intelligent as well. So Molly, one of our Tasmanian devils, actually learned how to turn on attacks. So you might be able to see over here we've got a little pond of water, and there used to be a tap on there that the keepers would come in and turn on to fill up for them, and they kept coming in and finding that it was on, and they thought, that's really strange, I'm sure I turned that off. And they actually watched and found out that it was one of the Tasmanian devils that was using her paw to turn it on and playing in the water. So they put something over it, but she just moved that and kept turning it on, so now they actually have to physically bring in the lever to turn on the water and turn it on, and again bring out the lever with them as well, so that the water doesn't flood everywhere. So I just want to say that we can do to help these guys in the wild, and it's something that you're probably going to see. You can see Sylvia's got a whole lot of special treats for these guys that we're going to throw over, and it's something that we like to do here at the zoo is to reuse things. So we reuse and recycle. We've got all these old boxes and scraps of newspaper, and we can reuse them, making sure that we're not taking anything from animals' homes. And it's a great way to give enrichment to our animals as well. So enrichment is something that we give to our animals. It keeps them nice and entertained and using their natural behaviours. So that's what Sylvia is going to do now. She's going to throw over some treats for our Tasmanian devils, and we'll see if they're interested. Cool. So there's some meat in the boxes, and also some nice scents as well. These guys have a really good sense of smell, and they love things that smell interesting, so things like peppermint essence or vanilla essence, or herbs and spices as well they really like. So let's see what they do.
அந்த பெட்டியை கண்டுபிடிக்குது அந்த பெட்டி பார்த்து ஸ்மெல் கண்டு
So I'll also let you know that the next talk that we have on today is the Kiwi talk. That's at 2 o'clock down at the Kiwi House. And we also have the Tasmanian Devil talk on at 2:45 today. And the beer talk at 2:45 today down at the Asia Precinct. So that's a really good one to go along to. Gives you a chance to see the sunbears up nice and close. But otherwise, if you have any questions, feel free to come over to either myself or Sylvia and ask any questions that you need.
Hasn't been doing anything. Well, see the other one. See nothing. We'll come back if anything happens.